Shalom. That's peace and blessings. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to the Most High God, Yahweh. That's the name of the Heavenly Father. Bahashem, in the name of Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. So, with this video, I want to get into 5 easy commandments that our people can start keeping. Even if, you don't have a clear understanding of the truth. Some of these you might already be keeping without even knowing. But I want to get into, these commandments that, we can keep. And this video is not going to be long. I'm going to make sure it's not really a long one. I'm going to make sure I kind of keep it short and sweet, because I understand, a lot of people have, quote unquote ADHD or not really a long attention span. So I'll keep this one short. So first, I want to get into this. 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. So how do you show that you love God? Not just by saying, oh, I love God, because talk is cheap. You actually have to show, you love somebody, because love is ultimately an action word. So you have to show that. You can't just say that and then, go about your business, because, somebody... I could say I love my mother, but if she tell me to go do the dishes, or she tell me to go take out the trash, or she tell me to, go do this, and that, do I really love her, or am I just saying I love her? You feel me? So it's the same way with God. You got to show that you love him. So I'm going to go back into it. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. So his commandments ain't hard to keep. He made sure it wasn't burdensome for us to keep, so yeah. So to go into the first commandment that I want to bring out, Leviticus chapter 19, verse 28. Do not cut your bodies for the dead, or put tattoo marks on yourselves. I am the Lord. So as far as tattoos and things like that, that's unlawful and that's against the Bible. We're technically not supposed to be putting, images or wording for the dead, or even just images in general on our bodies. That's not meant to go on our bodies. And just recently, like a couple, I think days or probably like a week or two ago, I saw, as far as people getting tattoos, like, how when people got the tattoo, but it's in the healing stage and they tattoo might not heal right. And, it just looks, I'm gonna be real, it just looks hella fucked up, So it's like, that ain't, and plus, think about, and this is what people really don't really think about, the long term. A lot of our people just think the now, and that's the issue. We're really supposed to be thinking long term, and that's what separates the other nations from us, because we don't think long term, they do. And that's was ultimately, if we didn't have, God on our side, that would be the downfall of us ultimately. And that don't mean just because we have God on our side to keep doing it. Because at the end of the day, if you're watching this video, and specifically if you're an Israelite and you're watching this video, if you're a so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian watching this, look at this as the Most High talking to you and giving you a warning. So, yeah, one of the commandments is, not to cut our bodies for the dead or put tattoo marks on ourselves. It's clear as day right there. And if you love God, then you would take heed to that commandment. Just like how if your parents told you to do something and you take heed to that, treat God the same way, but 10 times more. So the second commandment I want to get into, this really does go into the dietary law of the Bible, of what we can eat and what we can't eat. So I'm going to go into this one right here specifically to, to start out, so it ain't just too much on a person. So, and this is what brothers bring out on the highways and byways to each and every one of our people. Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 8 through 10. The pig, or the so-called swine, is also unclean. Although it is divided the hoof, it does not chew the cud, meaning it doesn't digest its food properly. Like how, how can I say? Just like how we digest our food properly, it come in one way, it go out another way. That's not the same for them. Or just like how most animals, like a cat, a dog, yeah, they eat their food one way, it goes out the other way. Pigs is different. They don't do that. They sweat their food out. So when you're eating literally pig skin, pig feet, the head of a pig, so on and so forth, you're literally eating, essentially their shit sweated out on their skin, essentially. They don't digest their food properly, so it don't go out the way it's supposed to, like how with everything else it does. So it says the pig is also unclean, although it has divided hoof, it does not chew the cud. You are not to eat their meat or touch their carcasses, meaning don't touch their flesh and don't eat of it. That's very clear, and everybody can understand that. So verse 9, of all the creatures living in the water, you may eat any that has fins and scales. So if it has fins and scales like salmon, tilapia, some tuna, so on and so forth. If it has fins and scales in the water, you can eat it. Verse 10, but anything that does not have fins and scales, you may not eat. For you, it is unclean. So, like, catfish, shrimp, crab, lobster, chitlins, crawfish, things like that don't have fins and scales, so it's not good for you to eat. That's like you eating a roach off the ground. Like how when you see a roach in your kitchen or in your bathroom and you step on it, right? You don't eat that. You step on it, you probably pick it up with a paper towel, so on and so forth, and you throw it away or you toss it outside. Crabs, lobsters, crawfish, chitlins are the roaches of the sea. So they're not good for you to eat. Just like how you wouldn't eat a roach off the ground or a snail and all that off the ground, you wouldn't eat that. Well, you shouldn't be eating that. But I know a lot of our people, especially, here in Baltimore, a lot of our people have a knack for eating, seafood. But that's the issue, because our enemies pushes that on us so that we can stay in sin. I'm literally reading to you a law from God telling you that it's unclean for you to eat that. So if it's unclean for you to eat that and it's abomination, that means it is a sin against God. And if you love God, then you would take heed to his commandments by not eating pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, and anything without fins and scales. So with that being said, I'm going to go into the third commandment. And the third commandment will be Exodus chapter 20, Exodus chapter 20, verse 8 through 11. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, neither you, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your male or female servant, nor your animals, nor any foreigner residing in your towns. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens, and the earth, the sea and all that is in them. But he rested on the seventh day. Therefore, the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. So, concerning the Sabbath day, a lot of people may, especially in the black community or just, I say, American ideology, has made Sunday the quote unquote Sabbath day because that's when you go to church. 9 times out of 10, that's when you rest, so on and so forth, right? In all actuality, though, that's not the Sabbath day. Now, that's more something that transpired when we got here from slave ships, which I can also get into, but I'm gonna get back into that another video, and I actually got into that in one of my past videos. But I know a lot of people, need reminders. So in a future video, I'll go into it again, Lord willing. So when it comes to keeping the Sabbath day holy, now by us, a certain group of brothers understanding, a certain camp understanding, sometimes it may be Friday evening to Saturday evening as the Sabbath day, because if you understand how days work biblically, a day starts every evening. A new day starts every evening. And then from that evening on forth, meaning from if it gets dark around 8-ish, that's a new day. Now, from that day on forth, or from 8 on forth, once it hits 8 the next day and it's dark again, that's the end of that day and that's the start of a new day. So biblically, that's how days work, and that's really how we should be keeping it as a people now. But again, the white man pushed his ideology on us. So now we think days start, when the sun rises, when in all reality, it doesn't. That's not how the Most High set up things. So right here, a lot of other brothers may believe that, the Sabbath takes place Friday to Saturday. But specifically, most brothers, or I say a lot of other brothers, believe that the Sabbath falls on a new moon. When the moon is completely dark and you can't see it in the sky, that's the new moon. So whatever day that is, that's the new moon. And it changes every month. It's not the same day every month. So, and that actually falls in line with the scriptures. So that Friday to Saturday, that's not really biblical. That's just something that brothers may do because it's convenient, So, but I'll get into that on another video. But as this third commandment that I have for y'all is to keep the Sabbath day holy. So if you just starting out and you feel in your spirit that Friday to Saturday is the Sabbath, then however you may acknowledge the Sabbath, but I'm going to go into another video explaining the real day of the Sabbath and how to keep the Sabbath. So, this is plain as day. Don't do no work. Don't buy. Don't sell. Just rest. Just chill. Just vibe. You feel me? And stay in the scriptures, pray, so on and so forth. Keep the Sabbath day holy. So, number 4, I got Romans chapter 10, verse 13 through 15. For everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. So, in these last days, really in general, but considering we're living in the last days, in order for your prayers to get heard, or in order for you to, to get out of a specific situation, most people would say, oh, Jesus help me, or Lord help me, or, Lord God. Just because you say Lord, or Jesus, and Jesus, the letter J hasn't been invented since the 1600s. So the letter J isn't in the Bible in the ancient Paleo Hebrew in general. So his name can't be Jesus because that's not in the ancient Paleo Hebrew. The ancient Paleo Hebrew, it's no letter J's in that language. So in all actuality, his name can't be that. Same with who people call God, Jehovah or whatever, things like that. That's not his name either. Just like how you heard me at the start of this video, I give all praises to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashem, in the name of Yahweh Shah, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. So that's the real name of the Father and the Son. You call on those two names, especially in these last days, and you have faith and believe in them, you feel me? You'll be all right. The Most High will look out for you. I haven't, it hasn't been one time where I said that name and the Most High failed me. Hasn't been one time. So, call on the true names of the Most High and the Son. And in a future video, I will go into the names, breaking it down in depth of what those names mean. So, number 5, and this is the last one. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it short. Right here, Leviticus chapter 19, verse 27. Do not cut the hair at the sides of your head or clip off the edges of your beard. So, this commandment is very simple. Just don't shave your hair. Don't shave your beard. Just like how you could tell the difference between a lion and a lioness by a male lion having a mane and a female lion not having one. That's how you could tell the difference. Now, if the male lion wasn't to have a mane, you couldn't tell the difference. So as far as, cutting your hair and things like that, according, if it's a trim or if you're just getting a lineup, a lawful lineup, then it's fine. But as far as getting what we call here a one, shaving off your head where you damn near look bald, that's a no-no. Same with shaving off your beard to make your face smooth. That's a no-no. You gotta have some type of facial hair. That's what separates you as a man. Cause even then, I don't know if y'all be peeping, but some niggas out here look like studs when they don't have a beard. You feel me? Some of them look very feminine. That's why that's why not having no face on your head or not having no facial hair is a very feminine trait. That's a very feminine trait. So it's very, for a man, it's very essential for you to have some type of facial hair and some hair on your head. You feel what I'm saying? Same with the women. It's essential for them to also have hair on their head. I understand they want to get wigs and sometimes, you gotta, trim your hair, things like that. And that's fine. But as far as, what our God commands us, make sure that you still have some hair on your head and that you don't shave your hair off because that's against the laws of God. So I'm going to wrap it up at that, man. Lord willing, this is edifying. Again, I want to give first and foremost, all praises to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakakwadash. And again, mighty shalom to those brothers out there and the elders pushing this truth around the four corners, waking up our people, the Israelites, the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. Lord willing, it's edifying. And I'll catch you on the next one. Shalom.